One. You're live. Welcome to Comics and Variety Sunday morning show, the absolute best Comicsgate Sunday morning show out there, because it's pretty much the only Comicsgate Sunday morning show out there. Today we are lucky to have with us our guest Fusebox, otherwise known as Ben Fuslier, and also the legend himself, Mike Baron. Mike, why do you deign to even just, join with us mere comic book mortals here? I don't get it.
Well, Dave, you and I have been chatting on Facebook for, I don't know, a couple of years now. And, I respect what you have to say. We're all in the same business together. And an author never passes up an opportunity to talk about his work.
I have learned that with my comic book campaign. I look at some of the channels that I was going to go on, and I'm like, they only have like 40 subscribers, and then I slap myself. I say, no, you never know where your next backer is going to come from, and I, on occasion, have gotten 1 or 2 backers out of those shows. So it's you've got to make sure that you do what you don't pass up those opportunities. All righty, let me just give a quick preview here of what we're going to be talking about off and on throughout the show today. And if either of you gentlemen have screens that you wish to share with me, you just throw it into the green room here, and I will let you take it away. But first of all is, and this is on Kickstarter right now, is Mike's formerly a comic book that he's now turning into a novel called Nexus. We're going to be letting him talk a little bit about that. Also his novel Florida Man, which I got about halfway through at Christmas and would love to have finished had I not gotten so insanely busy. It is a immensely fun read, but he's now taking that and he's turning it into a novel. You're turning it into a graphic novel, a comic book.
Yeah.
You can sign up for that. So the Kickstarter and the Indiegogo campaigns links to that are in the description below. And then we have Ben. How do you pronounce your last name? Is it Fuslier?
It's Fuslier.
Fuslier. All right.
You were close.
I'm close. Well, it's like horseshoes and hand grenades and thermonuclear devices. He's got a campaign going on called Outlaw Nights. How many, is this your first 30 days or your second that you're in now?
This is my first 30 days.
Okay.
So
you're almost halfway there, and you're not even at your end of your first 30 days. You're looking good, but let's make sure we get Ben the rest of the way. This looks like a very interesting comic book, and I'm going to let Ben talk about that in a little bit. But first, we need to talk about the newest superhero on the scene, who, and I'm not kidding, this is Stacey Abrams, and you'll see here in just a second why I'm calling her the latest superhero. She is, she was a state representative in Georgia, ran for governor in 2018, and lost by about 55,000 votes. And now she's, with that fairly thin resume, she's actually being seriously considered as the vice presidential nominee.
Thin resume.
Pretty thin. Not that the guy who's currently president has a real thick resume when it comes to at least political office. But at any rate, Joe Biden is considering her as one of his potential VP candidates, and I really think he should go for it, because this woman is a superhero. I mean, she is an absolute superhero, isn't she? I mean, doesn't that look like Dawn of Justice to you?
I feel very inspired.
Now, let me ask you guys this. Do any of you know where this picture appeared?
Yeah, I do. Vanity Fair.
What?
God.
Vanity Fair.
No, well, that's not where I saw it, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was. You want to take a guess, Ben?
Oh God. I'm gonna say Time magazine.
Oh, you're actually closer than Mike. This was actually in the Washington Post. And hey, I'll let me bring that up here real quick. Let's see here. Let's go to the Chrome tabs. Did I please? Yeah, here it is. Okay. Yeah, here. This is the Washington Post. This is here's the photo in the Washington Post. All right. And we're gonna read some of this article because the guy who wrote it, Kevin Powell, I'm gonna get to him in a minute because the fact that they decided to let this guy write their kind of their introductory piece about Stacey Abrams says a lot about the state of the media today. But let's actually take a look at the article here. I've grabbed a couple of very choice pieces. All righty. All righty. So we'll see what Kevin Powell wrote about. It's called The Power of Stacey Abrams. And she undoubtedly has lots of power as our new superhero. All righty. This is from the Washington Post article, mind you. Quote, when she is finally introduced, the women shout and leap to their feet. Young women stand on chairs, camera phones flash. Abrams, who appears both amused and slightly disturbed by the fuss over her, takes control of the chaotic scene. I've witnessed this level of affection for a few political leaders in the Democratic circles I've been in since the 1980s. They
You guys there?
I'm not sure. I wasn't sure if Doc was having trouble or not.
Doc, come back.
I didn't know if it was just me or not. That's why I was. Oh no, Doc. Oh no. We need you, Doc.
Well, tell me, Fuse, what's your book about?
Well, my book is about space pirates in the 31st century, and a security guard who is essentially, he's dragged into all of this, and he essentially goes from being kind of a naive hero to being an anti-hero.
Are you the artist?
No, I'm just the writer / creator, but our artist is Render Contender. I think you may have heard of him. He's done work on John Malin's Graveyard Shift Volume 2 and Art T. Bear's Chrono Mechanics.
Render Contender, great name.
Yeah, definitely. And just, everything with this comic has just fallen into place so beautifully that it would have been foolish of me not to try to crowdfund it.
Are you on Facebook?
Not on Facebook. I am on Twitter, though.
What as?
It's my last name. And my first name. It's at Fuslier Ben. I'll type it in the private chat for you because I know it's annoying and kind of a weird name.
Oh, I got it. Ben Michael Peel.
What's up?
Ben Michael Peel.
Oh, no.
No?
No. Hang on.
Dave says he's rebooting.
Yeah. I typed it. Ah, okay.
Got it. Well,
yeah, I figured it was probably an internet problem.
Okay. I will send you a friend request. I mean, I'll follow you.
Amen. Thank you.
Oh, is this some of the art?
Oh, definitely.
That looks good. Looks good.
Oh yeah, it was one of those things where just everything fell into place perfectly for this project that it would have been stupid of me not to try to fund this thing.
Well, as long as we're sitting here killing time, Florida Man 2 is going to be out in about a week. It's called Hogzilla. And it's like Moby Dick, only with a 1,000-pound feral hog, which keeps destroying the houses in this upscale housing community that Gary moved into when he won the lottery. Gary Duba's my hero. Gary Duba's having a bad day. There's a snake in his toilet. Oh, never mind. We're back.
No. Hey, continue, man. Continue. Thank you. I appreciate you guys picking up the slack. Go right ahead. Don't let me stop you, Mike. We can come back to what I was doing. You go right ahead.
Florida Man about? Gary Duba's having a bad day. There's a snake in his toilet, a rabid raccoon in the yard, and his girl Crystal's in jail for getting naked at a Waffle Hut and licking the manager. So Gary sets off with his best friend Floyd, to sell his prized Barry Bonds rookie card to raise the $500 needed for bail. But things get out of hand. It's got gators. It's got bad sex. It's got bad decisions. It's got invasive species, cocaine. If you've ever seen any of those Florida Man headlines, I tried to incorporate them all in the novel.
Oh God, I love that.
It is a very good read. I was flying through it on the plane out to California back in November, and I had to put it down. Had a little time during Christmas. Only got halfway through, and I'm again really chagrined that I have not had the time to pick it back up.
Don't worry about it, Dave. That book will be waiting for you.
It's a lot of fun. I'd gotten to the point where just after he'd won the lottery ticket and blew through the winnings within, how long did it take him to blow through the winnings? I'm sorry, I don't want to give away too much plot here. But,
between 6 months and a year, he stops paying the mortgage after 6 months, and the police keep showing up, and finally, in an apocalyptic event, they throw him out. But they don't just throw him out; they arrest him and his wife Crystal for attacking the police with a 2-foot-long hard rubber black dildo. and so overnight, and one of her friends films and puts it up on YouTube. It gets like 3 million views. So then the wrestling promoters start coming around. They say, you've already got an audience. Have you thought about professional wrestling?
Okay. I can see where this is going. What I particularly like was when they found the gator in the swimming pool. They kill it, which I guess was illegal, and how they covered it up. Do you want to reveal that one or not?
Well,
how they covered it was awesome.
It up. But that's going in the graphic novel, which I've sent you the material about. We're about to, the whole thing started as a comic book. And when I wrote 5 scripts, I realized I had a very detailed outline for the novel. So I wrote the novel and I showed it to my publisher, and he snapped it up, and it was in print within a month, which has never happened to me before. It's doing real well on Amazon. Florida Man by Mike Baron.
It should. It's a hell of a good read, and it's easy to read too. I mean, it's obviously. I mean, I look at it, and it's like the culmination of your decades of writing experience, and the fact that I can it's hard to put down, and I'm flying through it.
Well, thank you, Dave.
Well, especially, God, for someone who spent years in graduate school having to read some of the most turgid prose, you start to really appreciate books like Florida Man. So, okay. Anything else before I pivot back to Stacey Abrams?
No.
All righty. What was the last thing you gentlemen heard before my internet decided to throw a hissy fit?
Oh, boy. We were...
Just her greatness.
We were still pretty much at the beginning of the article for the most part.
All right, we
were talking about how wonderful she is.
Yeah, and let's see. Let's just go. This was the awesome this was the best part of this article. Pandemonium ensues as she walks to the far left of the stage like a runway supermodel. Stops on a dime, poses, tilts her head slightly, and smiles. Camera flashes explode. She next pivots and walks slowly to the center of the stage, freezes there, and repeats the pose. Again, the flashes explode. Abrams is summoning her inner actress, and she is both enjoying the moment and getting through it to get to the conversation. I mean, well, we already know that she's a superhero, so why couldn't she also be a supermodel?
I mean, my God, this guy is really like, he's getting in her head,
I mean,
Pandemonium ensues.
Oh my God, he got out the heavy duty extra large shovel on this one.
I wish I'd written that.
Oh my God. Well, let's now that we've seen the article, let's actually turn to the author here. His name was Kevin Powell. When I first put in the search term Kevin Powell, I got one main hit that kept coming up, and I'm like, this can't possibly be the guy. I mean, the Washington Post did not send this guy out to do their introductory article to Stacey Abrams. But yes, so I went through his Twitter timeline, and yeah, there he is promoting the article. So obviously he wrote it. His name's Kevin Powell, and let's see here. Yeah, here we go. Let me just change the... let me just change the what we got on the screen here. Okay. All righty. Here is Mr. Kevin Powell. Okay, gentlemen. 1, 2, 3. Soy boy. But that is not the best part here. Yeah, that's right, Charles. Soy boy. Yeah, it is funny, isn't it? All righty, let me bring it over here. Okay, this is Kevin Powell's Wikipedia page. Is that now? I gotta stinks. Should allow me to do this. All right, here we go. Kevin Powell's Wikipedia page. Now he's been on the Oprah Winfrey show to talk about Oprah's talks to men who've beaten women, although it doesn't entirely explain why he was on that particular show. All right. He was on The Real World. He's been on MTV, written for Vibe magazine. Again, I'm not going to hold that against anyone because there's some good journalists that start out in this kind of stuff. I mean, it's not unusual. But okay, here he's been an long-time left-wing activist here. He participated in anti-apartheid movements. Okay, fine. Police brutality, racial bias cases, voting rights. Okay. His politics. He's run 3 times as a Democrat in New York City. Has never won, obviously. Let's see, on September 3rd, and I believe this was his 2008 run, media reported that the Powell campaign had received a notice from the Federal Election Commission informing them that Powell was not officially registered as a candidate for Congress. Nah, he just started up his campaign and, screw the rules. All right, but that's okay. So this is the type of person they consider enough of a journalist to go do a piece on the up and coming Democrat who's considered for the VP slot. Okay, but it gets better. Let's take a look at what I think is probably a pretty good indication of his journalism skills. And this is a real gem. All right. Litigation. In 2018, Powell and his wife were sued by Minneapolis choreographer April Sellers because the couple had issued an open letter slandering her and ruining her career due to an email his wife received from somebody also named April Sellers. This resulted in a verdict against Powell for $210,000. Okay, so I looked up the Minneapolis Star-Tribune article on this. A Facebook post called Minneapolis dancer racist. They had the wrong April Sellers. The Minneapolis dancer hopes winning defamation suit helps get her career. Oh, yeah, we aren't on that page. My apologies. Hang on just a second here. Let me.
I think I remember something about that story from a while back.
Yeah. This, I'll be honest, is the first time I have heard this, but that's not a surprise. Okay, do we have the? Yes, we do. Okay, let's go to the Star Tribune. All right, April Sellers' dancing and choreography career was taking off. The Minneapolis artist was receiving accolades left and right, winning grants for her innovative work and preparing a national tour for her dance company. And then out of the blue came a public attack from a New York City couple who saw a Facebook post that disparaged them from a woman named April Sellers. The couple responded with a vehement open letter email to the Twin Cities artist community and media, branding Sellers a racist. So what are we talking about here? Cancel culture. It sent her career into a tailspin. She stopped working because of the emotional stress. Performance opportunities stalled. Revenue to pay artists dried up. After a year of turmoil, she finally decided to sue to clear her name. A Hennepin County jury found in favor of Sellers 2 weeks after a trial of 5 days, awarding her a judgment of $210,000. It had taken jurors less than 3 hours to confirm that the Sellers behind the Facebook attack actually lived in Cleveland. Okay, so the Washington Post here has gone to a guy who cannot even be bothered to look up, and apparently this was a Facebook post disparaging him. So presumably it would not have been that hard to figure out where the April Sellers that had disparaged him and his wife lived, and whether it was the same April Sellers. I mean, it's just journalism 101. I mean, it's not even journalism 101. It's kindergarten 101. I mean, really, this is the guy's journalism abilities, his standards. He can't be bothered to do that. And the Washington Post has decided to send this guy. And the jury found against him, all right, which is not particularly easy to do in a slander case. All right. I mean, presumably he had access to some I don't know, maybe he didn't, who knows? But at any rate, the jury found against him. And the Washington Post went to this guy to write this article, okay? I mean, if you want to know why Trump gets so much mileage by disparaging the media, here's example number one. Yeah, right? And people constantly say, "Oh, Trump, he bashes on the media, and the media is our great protector of democracy." And Trump is hurting the media, and he's hurting democracy. Guys, the media has been this bad for years. All right, distrust in the media started growing at least 2 decades ago. When that's the last time I checked. All right, Trump just realized what power was in the street, and he finally picked it up and was the first person to do something with this. All right, I mean, what kind of standards do you have that this is the guy that you send to do the opening piece in your newspaper on Stacey Abrams? I mean, it's not a shock that what you got was runway supermodel.
Oh God!
I don't know. I'd like to hear your gentlemen's thoughts. I've ranted and raved here now for 5 minutes. So,
see, nothing shocks me anymore. Every freaking day, I read something new that's just totally ridiculous. That it's like none of this phases me. I'm like, oh, incompetent person doing a news article. What else is new? Like it's insane. It's truly insane.
I have nothing to say about Stacey Abrams, but I do have a term for the modern media, the mainstream media. It's lickspittle. And I want everybody to stop using the term media and instead use the term lickspittle. As in the lickspittle reported today.
The lickspittle. I'm going to have to remember that one. Hi, Tank Ferret. Thanks for showing up. Did Doc get eaten? Well, no, it's just, internet problems. Although say having been cooped up for about 6 weeks here, I deserve to get eaten. And you know what I mean by eaten in that context. Okay.
You got right. Feral hog.
Yeah. All righty. Let's move on to Outlaw Nights. I can bring up the screen if you want, Ben, unless you have something that you'd like to share on your own, which usually works out better, but I will do the screen. Bring it up if you like.
I think I'm good with whatever you've got.
Well, I'll just go straight to the screen here, and let's see here. share screen. We'll go to the Chrome tab, share audio. Boy, I had so much trouble with this last week. My two guests were like, boy, we're having a bit of a boomer moment, aren't we? And I'm like, oh man, am I ever.
I forget to check that box habitually.
I love StreamYard. They make so many things easy, but and then there's that one option in the middle where there is no box to check. So
yeah,
it's like, so at any rate, okay, let's take a look. Why don't shall we do the commercial here first?
Sure.
All right. I'm in the middle of the show, Okay, bud, I know. That's nice.
Thank you, man.
I'm not a huge fan of techno pop, but that's actually I kind of like that music. It's pretty cool.
Thank you.
I don't know if you're familiar with the band Judas Priest. I am a huge fan. They are my favorite heavy metal band, but the album of theirs that I like the least is Turbo, because they went with all this guitar synthesizer stuff, and I can't stand it. And it actually has one or two songs on there that I like, because and they actually have one or two other albums that have no songs I like on them. The band has like 18 studio albums, so there's a lot to choose from. But the reason I dislike Turbo the least is because one of the songs on there that I absolutely can't stand was actually a hit, and so they play it at most of their live shows. so we're stuck with it. All righty, tell us a little bit about this cover here, because this is quite nice.
Oh, well, yeah, the cover mainly, I think it helps to kind of capture the themes and the mood of the book. Because our main character, Cyrus Lawson, is the guy on the bottom here in the very center. And in a sense, he's very much dwarfed by Ivory, who's the captain of the pirate ship, Hazard.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you, the crux of the 6 to 8 issue arc that I'm going to be doing is heavily on their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reflecting a few themes from stories like Treasure Island and stuff, only I'm putting kind of a new twist on it, where instead of it just being kind of a teacher-student and then slight betrayal kind of thing, it's more like they sort of rub off on each other.
Mm-hmm.
And and those are the most primary members of the crew surrounding them.
Now, I take it what you've done here is this conveys that he is the head the alpha male of the group, correct?
Oh, definitely.
All right, that's good. I like that in a cover.
Mm-hmm.
And can you give us just a quick plot synopsis? I mean, I like the little Cyrus Lawson is caught up in the machinations of Ivory, infamous pirate captain of Hazard. Yes, big guy. Sorry, gentlemen. Go ahead and give us the plot. Go ahead and give us the plot synopsis.
Oh, not a problem. Outlaw Nights. This is hopefully going to be the first of about 6 to 8 issues, depending. Before I get into the major plot synopsis, I just wanted to say I was essentially, in order to make my goal reasonable for this project, I had to cut my book in half to about 25 pages, which I hated. And essentially one of my major goals is I'm hoping we can reach about a 10K stretch goal, because that way I'll be able to add on the other 50 pages. I got the other 25 pages. I got stuck between a rock and a hard place financially.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I had to. I had hoped to actually have my campaign for Tilt up in February, and I got stuck in a cash crunch and had to stop my artists because I wanted to have half my pages done by the time the campaign was going, and I had to, so that's why I didn't get I wasn't able to start till March, and I hear you on that. Okay, let me scroll down here to tell us a little bit about this right here. By the way, the art I think is top notch. I mean, I'm kind of jealous of who's doing the. Tell us who's doing the sketch ink and who's doing the colors.
Oh, our line art is being done by Render Contender, who is sort of infamous in CG now. He has worked on books like John Malin's Graveyard Shift Volume 2. And he's also working with Art T. Bear on a Chrono Mechanics. So he's definitely got some chops behind him. And as you can tell from his line art, he's phenomenal. And and the way when we met and everything, and when I sent him my script and all, it was sort of like, it was like everything kind of was meant to happen as it was, because he was actually looking for a good sci-fi story to play around with, and I just happened to have one, and I needed an artist. So great. It was perfect meshing. And our colorist is a gentleman who goes by the moniker Colors, and he operates out of India. And I originally had another colorist lined up, and Sierra Whiskey recommended this guy to me. So I just kind of, out of curiosity, I was like, I'll just commission him to do one page, see how that turns out. And the one page, when he gave me that page back, I was like, okay, yeah, this is my colorist, because he helps add so much depth to the shots. I just love it so much.
Now this is pretty cool. Who is this character? And he's just looks to me like he's just mad at somebody, so he's chopping his arm off. That seems to be the only reason.
Oh, definitely. He's that is the villain of this current arc of Outlaw Nights, known as Taurus. He only gets briefly introduced in this first issue, but as you can see, he makes a bang. And he is essentially kind of a good foil for Ivory, because Ivory, you can't really characterize him as good, but you can't characterize him as evil either. But Taurus is, as you can see, he's straight up evil. He does not like being told what he doesn't want to hear, and he will punish you if you deliver him bad news. And that
sounds like some of the bosses I've had in my life.
Oh, definitely. It's all, but his crew love him because, the Magdalena is very much a survival of the fittest type of pirate ship,
Okay, well, let's go over some of the tiers here. What do you get in this first one, the Genesis of a Renegade?
Well, it's pretty straightforward and simple for the first 4 tiers. The biggest thing was that since this is my first campaign and I've been keeping my ear to the ground with other projects and campaigns, and I noticed that a lot of people just run into delays and stuff because they're promising a lot of extras. And so for me, it was that I'm keeping it fairly simple and to the point. The first 4 tiers are really just backing, like, you get 1 physical copy, you get 2 physical copies, you get 3 physical copies, and also digital previews here and there.
You guys have audio issues.
Uh-oh.
Oh, crud.
Uh-oh.
All right. Mike, who can you hear? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but then I hear you again 10 seconds later. It's repeating everything.
All right. Yeah, I can hear that echo as well. Let me let's do this. Let me drop out of the screen and come right back in, see if that helps. Okay. Yeah, I'm still hearing it. Let me drop you out, Fuse Box. I'll bring you right back. Okay, test.
Test. I'm testing.
I don't hear it as much anymore. There's a slight something there. How about you, Mike?
No, I think
You're
we're
not
good.
All right, thanks. Appreciate that. All righty, let's finish up on these tiers then, and we will.
It's back.
It's back. Okay, well, let's fix it. There we go. No problem. Now you can't hear it, Mike.
Poor Mike.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that. Can we just? Are you okay proceeding, Mike?
Mike,
are you there, Mike?
Huh?
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right. Are we okay to proceed? I know I can still hear it now a little too, but I'm just not sure if I can do anything about it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm still getting that echo.
well, I don't know what could be causing it because I got headphones on and everything, so there's no feedback.
Yeah, so do I. So, how bad is it, Mike? I mean, can you continue?
Yeah, I can hear a little bit.
It sounds like he's hearing us like 5 seconds after we speak.
Are you guys hearing it?
Yeah.
We're hearing it a little bit. Is it really bad? Yeah, there's some delay between us and him. I tell you what, Mike, let's do this. Let's go to your campaigns. That way we'll just let you talk, and then I'll come back to your tiers here, Ben. Sure. So let's just let me bring up I'll bring up a couple I just want to bring up a little bit of sorry, I did not capture this cover well, but we'll start here. Okay, here is the Florida Man cover. Who designed your cover, Mike?
Todd Mulrooney, and he's the artist on the comic.
Oh, excellent. All righty. Is this some art from the comic?
It's Todd Mulrooney.
How about this image? Tell us, is this from the comic going to be in it?
That's just promotional piece.
I see.
Ah.
Oh,
we
yeah.
do
Well,
have
that
art
would make
from the comic.
Okay.
No, that's just a promotional piece, but those are the featured characters. From left to right is Crystal, Floyd, and Gary Duba, who's Florida Man.
Gotcha. Okay. And let's see. Hold on here a second. How about this one?
That's Crystal.
Promotional? Okay, awesome. All right. Okay, let's bring it up on well, do you have some art that you can share?
Sure.
All right.
I'll post it to your Facebook this message thing.
Well, if you can share screen on this if you want to give that a shot.
Oh yeah, how do I share a screen?
Okay, go down to
I see.
Go to share screen, and you'll have like 3 options. Pick the one that works best for you.
Oh man. Okay.
All right, now
I don't see any way for me to post anything. I'm not too tech wise, guys.
All right, let me let's see here. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and drop it in the Facebook chat, and I'll do my best to bring it up.
Hell yeah.
Oh, these are uncolored
All right.
pages, needless to say, and we have a good colorist.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's see what. All righty, we'll start that one. Tell us about this.
That's a drawing by Joe Comstock. All right. Well, I had proposed this as the
Happy Easter!
I proposed that as a cover for the comic.
I'd like to see that. Well, is it going to be the cover?
No, it's not, because at the time Joe drew this, I thought Todd had pulled out, but then Todd came roaring back.
Why don't you offer it as a variant cover?
So we're going to use this as an alternate cover or a pinup.
Ah, sounds good. Sounds good. All righty. Okay, that's promotional art. You got this. Let's see here. Okay, go ahead and tell us about this.
Oh, that looks like page 2 to me. And it's just, it's Gary and Floyd hanging out on his porch, getting shit-faced on Shine.
All right, and I'll go to this other one over here.
And then Gary goes inside to take a leak, and he finds a snake in his toilet. So he goes out on the deck to pee off the deck, and he slips and falls and bangs his head and falls to the ground unconscious.
And all righty.
And he wakes up in the morning to get a phone call from his girlfriend's mother. That says Crystal's in jail for getting naked at the Waffle Hut.
And things are looking good. Okay. Any other art you want to share?
Let's see what else I got here. Let me see. I might have another page. Yeah, here we go.
All right, hang on a second. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. This is Gary taking a photo of a man cheating on his wife as a favor to his lawyer, because he doesn't have any money to pay the lawyer.
Okay. And what's this guy? Who did he get something go wrong here?
That's Lyle, that guy there. That's a character Todd added. And
all right. Yeah.
well, no.
Okay. This is the one where he's taking the picture.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and he can't shake Lyle. Lyle's just there. But anyhow, the
go ahead, man. Well, that's scary right there.
the hooker is the hooker's a 6'4" Jamaican transvestite.
Ah, man, I cannot unsee that, and I'm still gonna buy this thing too.
and she comes out. She's pissed, and so she and Gary are about to get into it in the parking lot.
I remember this scene from the book now, and they kind of end up becoming friends and allies, right?
Yeah, they do.
God, this is so awesome. Okay. Anything else you want to tell us about Florida Man?
What because the novel came out first, I gave it a lot of thought. First, I thought about the comic, and then I followed the scripts to write the novel, but it changed a little bit. And And now that I'm writing the comic again, I'm going back to the novel to include material that I hadn't included before. It's going to be a 52-page story.
Yeah, Tank, we're having all sorts of internet problems right now. Ben and I can hear each other. Mike seems to be getting us about 10 seconds after we speak, so there's kind of these awkward delays. But
well, hang on a second, guys. Let me reboot my mic.
Okay, we're just making the best of it here, bud.
All right. See if that's any better.
All right. How can you hear me now? There's still a delay.
No,
that's all right. Okay. Well, let's. Shall we move on to Nexus?
Sure.
All right. Oh, that one you heard fast. That's good. Okay. All righty. Let's go on to Nexus then for a few minutes.
Sure.
Right now, the Indiegogo for Florida Man is in the sign up phase. So do go to that page. Do sign up. And you believe me, if this comic book is anything like the novel, you are not going to not going to regret it. This is prime A great humor storytelling. Okay, let's go to Nexus now. And all right. Okay, shall we play the video here?
Yeah.
All righty.
Oh, gotta get the sound.
Oh shoot. Right. Thank you. All right, let's try that again. Sorry, Mike. Hang on. Yeah. Boomer moment. All right, let's go back to the start here because you're gonna want the sound on this. Oh yeah. Ooh, nice. So tell us a little bit about what we're going to see in the Nexus novel.
Well,
first tell us. Go ahead.
Nexus versus Galactus.
Okay, tell us about it.
Years ago, dude asked me what story I'd like to do, and I said, well, I'd like to pit Nexus against Galactus, but of course we don't own Galactus.
We can hear you good, Mike. We can hear you really good. So just please continue with what you're telling us. We can hear you great, and this sounds fascinating.
All right. It's just, you're not hearing this echo?
I'm hearing it, but it's very, very low. It must. Right. So I do apologize, but believe me, Mike, we want to hear what you have to say because this. Nexus versus Galactus sounds like a fascinating premise.
I know. It just sounds like babble to me, boys. All right. Well, so we renamed him Gormondo, Eater of Worlds, and he has a herald who flies ahead to warn the worlds. To warn the worlds and seed them. But the story is much richer than the comic because there are things you can do in a novel that you just can't do in a comic.
We're not talking at all Mike.
I know. I know. I'm
This is
just
all you.
listening to myself over and over and over again. I know, and I hear you guys over and over again. All right.
because we're both shutting up and letting you go, so it must be really bad. So
But yeah. Well, the thing is that the novel it goes into a lot more depth about the society of Ilam and about the personalities involved, and it features. It features just about every regular character except for Dave, who remains on Thune World. But it has a lot to do with Nexus' son, Harry. And you'll see Nexus performing executions as he must to satisfy the Merc, the insane alien who gives him his powers. And eventually, of course, Gormando comes for Ilam. I wrote the book in a fury of creativity last winter when I couldn't sleep. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. And I showed it to a couple of people. And I got some quotes from some guys I know.
go ahead, please.
Here, I'm going to send you one of these quotes here. It's also on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
I read it myself, but then I have to listen to myself over and over again.
Well, I suggested that you take off your headphones and just talk into the microphone for the time being while you're making the pitch.
Hang on a second, boys. I don't even know if I have a mic
Here is.
See, that's the thing. I don't have a mic except with my headphones, so I can't hear if I don't have the headphones on. I'm not too tech wise. I may have mentioned that.
Well, I'm just saying you could make your pitch and not have the headphones on. I mean, neither of us are talking while you're making your pitch. So while you're making your pitch,
I know.
I'm just suggesting that you got to do what you're comfortable with. So let me throw this quote up on a Word file here so I can expand it and show it to everybody.
Right. Well, this is it, guys. Like I say, I don't know how to.
All right. Ben, can you see this all right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Mike Baron's Nexus may be one of the finest examples of galaxy spanning world building in science fiction. Add to that a compelling cast of characters, a flawless ear for dialogue. Indeed, he's got a great. I can confirm that from Florida Man. He has an excellent ear for dialogue and a genuinely thrilling story, and the result is a truly brilliant book, full stop. James A. Owen, best-selling author of Here, There Be Dragons. So, pretty good authority on that. Nexus right now is on Kickstarter. It is, let me just share the screen here one more time, and here we go. And you can actually get the digital for only $4. He had a $6,000 goal. He's already blew past that to $13,000. 16 days to go, guys. For $4 for this thing, for if you want just digital, this is well worth it. And I'm gonna get you can get a signed print copy from Mike for $25 for this thing. You want to get this. So I can't You know, I don't think you don't. I'll just end it by saying you do not want to miss out on this. Yeah. And we got another quote here. Let me bring this up as well. All right.
Thank you, Tank Ferret.
Yes, indeed. All right. Let me bring that up real quick here. And
How many ferrets fit in that tank?
Comic fans have long loved Nexus, and now Mike Baron's Nexus novel brings his award-winning superhero to life in ways we haven't seen before. Witty, profound, and deeply moving, this novel is serious science fiction. Kevin J. Anderson, New York Times best-selling co-author of Dune. Atreides? I think that's how you pronounce it. Atreides. Okay. So again, another best-selling author here giving wonderful praise to the Nexus novel. And again, $4 for digital, $25 for a signed copy by Mike. I think those are excellent deals for what I am sure is going to be an excellent novel. So, all righty. Why don't we have is there anything else you want to say about your novel, Mike?
Yes, I have a very detailed outline for the next one, on which I will be starting shortly.
Nice. All righty. Well, do back Nexus. Do sign up for the graphic novel for Florida Man. The links are in the description below. Okay, let's go to the
guys. I'm going to sign out for a while and come right back. I'm talking
right.
to tech support now, and it's just.
Hey, let's have a little bit of fun here, Ben. This is the odd news part, which I always enjoy. So let's bring this back up. Remember to share audio so I don't have a boomer moment. All right. Dump truck with raised bed collides with highway overpass. A traveler on a Wisconsin highway captured video of the moment a dump truck with its bed up collided with an overpass bridge. Jim Wachowski said he was driving Thursday near Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport when he noticed a dump truck traveling nearby with its bed raised. Wachowski said he tried to pull ahead of the driver to flag him down, but the vehicle was heading too quickly near an oncoming bridge. The man pulled over and recorded his cell phone as the truck's bed collided with the bridge. Let's enjoy this here for a moment.
A truck driver luckily escapes without injury after the dump truck he was driving hit a bridge right near the airport. The reason: the bed of the truck was actually sticking up in the air, 30 feet, Mary.
Yeah, this is crazy video. Fox 6's Evan Peterson spoke with the man who got the entire thing on camera, as you'll see.
Like a metal ball out of a cannon.
All right.
Bridge is powerful. I thought,
wow,
he's probably going to lower it. I looked again, and I could still see the bed was up and the truck was coming.
The man who caught it on camera says he tried to pull ahead of the truck to flag down the driver, but the truck was moving too fast, and the bridge was coming up.
So all I did was grab my cell phone, hit video, and 2 seconds later, you could see on the video that truck went by me.
Oh my God!
I don't know. I'm not sure I buy this stuff about him trying to flag the driver down. I'm not so sure. I think it was just too good of an opportunity. I mean, I know I'd certainly be tempted to say to hell with it, pull over and get the camera, get the cell phone out.
Out of the tunnel, about 50 feet from the other end of the tunnel. Pulled over.
This concerned motorist went to check on the driver and make sure he was okay.
He did say that he was sure that the bed was down, that he always puts it down. Well, I knew it wasn't down, so all I said to him was, no, The bed was not down.
You
The
think?
bed was up.
It tells us that the truck driver told him that he was okay. And thankfully, no one else was hurt.
Yeah.
In Milwaukee, Evan Peterson, Fox 6 News.
Unbelievable there. Not long after the truck struck the tunnel there, damage was cleared and the truck towed away. As of now, traffic is back open in both directions.
Oh, wow.
Alrighty, let's see if
The
let's see
truck
if
driver luckily
All right.
escapes without injury after the dump.
let's see if we can bring let's see if Mike's. How you doing, Mike? Better?
Well, I don't know. Let's see. How we doing? Can you
I don't hear
me?
any echo now. Yeah, I can hear you.
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay, wonderful. All right, did you see the dump truck video? You enjoy
I
that?
did.
That needs to go into the next version of Florida Man, don't you think?
Well, there's no lack of material. In fact, there's a site called floridaman.com, which aggregates all the Florida Man stories. And there are literally thousands. Take the Florida Man challenge. Type in your birth date and then Florida Man and see what comes up. Mine was Florida Man clings to hood of car fleeing cops at 85 miles an hour, which is that's pretty clean compared to some. I'll take it.
Oh,
All righty. Well, this next part of the show is maybe a regular feature that I am going to be calling.
Things that make you go.
And why is that? Because, because of this little number. And kitten with two faces born in Oregon barn. And there it is.
Oh, God.
An Oregon family welcomed an unusual arrival when their barn cat gave birth to a kitten with two faces on a single head.
Oh, my God.
And let's see, it's the Kings. The Kings dubbed the kitten Biscuits and Gravy.
Wow.
Oh, man. Ouch. The new arrival's rare condition is believed to be caused by a birth defect known as diprosopus craniofacial duplication. Felines with the condition are commonly known as Janus cats. Well, that makes sense, after the ancient Roman god often depicted with two faces. Kings and Biscuit was well, that's nature for you. Kings and Biscuit was rejected by the mother cat, so I guess it's not even a face that a mother could love. So she has been hand rearing and feeding the kitten until a full veterinary exam could be. Sorry, we got to see the video here, folks.
I guess I find that kind of odd. It's like, is it one consciousness? Like,
well, I have a funny feeling that one of the faces. And here we go, boomer moment. Alrighty, let's see. It's about.
I like your taste in YouTube videos, by the way.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
Are you guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
I'm still here.
Can you guys hear this?
No, I don't. Yeah, it's just a frozen screen on mine.
Oh, nuts. All right, hang on. Let me. All right, let's try this again. Sorry. I don't know what happened there. All right. Let's try this again. Cartoon, Face Kitten, share audio, boomer moment. All right, here we go.
Can
All
we
right.
hold biscuits so we can kind of see? Oh my goodness. And you were saying it feeds better out of one mouth than the other?
I'm still trying to figure it out, but this one's kind of deformed here, so this one seems like it takes it better, but both mouths move whenever I feed it. They both do the sucking motion. So
Oh wow.
And it will meow and eat at the same time.
yeah, it'll meow out
Meow
of
out
one
of one
mouth.
mouth and eat out of the other.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's so confusing. Oh my goodness. So what if well, that's one way to break up the COVID.
Yeah, kind of fun.
Goodness. Oh my goodness, little guy.
I tell you, I'm so glad when my son was born that is not what happened. Well, I would have been like, okay, put it back.
Oh, Lordy.
He's-
Lordy.
and can you tell if that's one eye? Their eyes haven't opened yet, right?
Okay, so where's the camera here? Yeah. Okay, so I can't, it looks like it might have a separation right in the middle, but I don't know. I mean, if it lives long enough, like a week, we'll be able to tell what its eyes will be like. So.
Oh wow. So have you guys thought about what if it does live?
Not really, not yet, because just taking, I mean, this is the second day of having it. So, I mean.
We're not super optimistic, but it does seem pretty lively and it has an appetite and seems to be doing pretty well.
With parents like these.
How's the mom and the other kittens doing?
They're good. They're just right. Do you want me to show you them? They're.
Mom, you rejected me.
Seriously? Like,
There they are.
You rejected me.
They're, the 5 other kittens are completely fine. They're good.
Wow.
No,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
moving
have-
totally good.
Yeah, it is. It's just it's smaller than the other ones, but it could be like the front too, on top of having 2 faces. So
Yeah, I was trying to pronounce the name is just so.
yeah, what are they called?
Oh, I don't know if it's Janus or what.
Janus, yeah, Janus cats, but there's an actual medical term for it.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I saw that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's about enough of this. I'll just finish it off with.
those 2 were just, well, I mean, it's probably.
Yeah, boy, they're totally calm about it. I mean, they're not. If they were at all freaked out, they certainly weren't showing it there. So, at any rate, let's end with this.
Things that make you go.
All righty, let's finish up here by going back to Outlaw Nights and maybe get a few thoughts from Mike on it, since he is our long.
Well, what I've seen really looks good. I'm happy to say that this is a professional quality comic.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the hell out of that.
All righty. Let's see. So, what do you? So you basically get an original page of art at this tier, then?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's the first 4 tiers are very straightforward. Just 1 physical copy, 2 physical copies, etc. But these last 2 we get. Like normally Render mostly just does digital, but he personally volunteered to do 10 pages by hand, specifically for this original art tier. So, I mean, y'all are going to want to get in on that because.
Okay. And then what is you want in?
That is where if you back this perk, you will get drawn into the comic. And depending on what order you back, you'll have your pick of the litter. You'll have choices of being either a pirate, an art gala patron, or a security team member.
Now, if I send in if I back this tier and send in a picture of me picking my nose, will you draw me in picking my nose?
I might. Well, we might.
You know, if it were Florida Man, we would.
I
mean,
then I'm going to have to seriously consider this tier.
I mean, biggest thing is that, no matter what, everybody who backs that tier, you're going to be looking sexy in this book,
All right. All right. Okay. Anything else you want to add? And then I'm going to wrap it up here.
Back Outlaw Nights. It's nonstop action. It's got everything that modern mainstream comics are missing. And there aren't long stretches where everybody just sits down and talks about different means of being offended.
Awesome. All righty. So let me just go through these real quick here. Okay, we've got Mike Baron's Nexus, which is a comic book that he's turning into a novel. It is already funded, actually more than 200% past its goal. You can actually get the digital for $4. It's gotten some wonderful praise by some very noted authors that have already seen it. Anything from Mike Baron is probably going to be very, very, almost certainly is going to be well worth your while. Next up is also his novel Florida Man, which he is turning into a comic book. It is basically, he's got the sign-up page going right now, and the links to both of those are in the description below. I would highly recommend that you sign up. I've read about half of Florida Man, the novel, and if the comic book, if the graphic novel is anything like that, you're going to be very pleased. Next up is Outlaw Nights, Genesis of a Renegade by Ben Fuslier.
You could say fuse box if it's too much.
Fuse box. Alrighty. He is almost halfway to his goal. 8 days left. Although I assume you're going to re-up for the next 30. Correct?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So it's looking good, but let's help it get the rest of the way. And you said you might end up having a stretch goal of 10K. So that you can get this to, you said 25 pages. You'd like to go the full 50, and you might do that if you get up to 10K. Is that
absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely? Because I reluctantly cut it down to 25 pages. I really didn't want to. So
yeah. Alrighty. Well, so he's probably going to have a stretch goal. Do back this as soon as you can. Again, the link is in the description below. And I need to mention my comic book Tilt, which is now in the in-demand phase.
Woo!
We have $293 to go to hit the $4,000 stretch goal. Give me just a second, big guy. Okay. We reach the stretch goal, and you will get a copy of these two pinups. One is just the virgin. The one on the right here is the virgin version of the Tilt cover. The second is some fan art that I got sent by, I want to say, Archsider is what he goes by on Twitter. He's just sent me this fan art, and I'm looking at it, and I'm going, my God, I want to add that to the stretch goal. And so you'll get these two pinups. So do back Tilt. The link to that is in the description below. Thank you both, Ben and Mike, for showing up today. Mike, thanks for soldiering through your technical difficulties. Again, back all of these projects when you can. And thank you very much to our audience. And have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, everybody.
All righty, we are.